Hello, people of the world. My name is Carlotta Ep.1, and I'm here at the Public Media Network, and this is my first episode of Crazy Talks with Carlotta, where we talk about how that's crazy. And today, I have my esteemed first guest, my beloved sister and friend, for better or for worse, Miss Ivy Rivera. Say hello, Ivy.
Hi, you guys.
Now, me and Ivy, we first met, one day I was outside of the Ministry with Community, the drop-in shelter here in Kalamazoo. I see this girl, she's got her blue Nikes, she got her nails, she got her cute hair. And later she approaches me as I'm at the front desk. She says, "So, your name is Carlotta, right?" You remember that, Ivy?
I really do.
You do. So I didn't actually reach out to you. You reached out to me.
Yeah, I had seen you first before you seen me. I remember they were giving out food or something on the dirt road, and I seen you.
Right.
And I asked somebody. They were like, "We thought that was you." They thought it was me before I found out that it wasn't me that they were talking about.
Right. Well, that's because we both share something in common. We share more than a few things in common, but first off, the first thing that comes to mind is we are both transgender. And that's nothing that we're going to shy away from on this podcast. That's simply our identity. That is who we are, and we live that reality 24/7.
Sure do.
So when you became friends with me, it really introduced me to a lot. I met a lot of different people in this shelter, in this drop-in, in this general area very quickly. And honestly, like, it probably increased my status a little bit. You kind of did me a favor. Because everyone was curious about me. Like, people wanted to approach me, or they weren't sure, I guess. And
It was in a sense you knew Ivy, so they wanted to know you.
Mm-hmm. Well,
No cockiness.
Right. So here in a minute, I want to delve deeper into the mystery of you yourself. Okay. But I want to just give a little bit of backstory for the viewers. So, like I said, people, I'm Carlotta Ep.1. So currently, as of this very moment in time, I am homeless. We stay at a shelter, effectively, here in Kalamazoo. So do a lot of people. There are a lot of people that are displaced and in this current state of things. But my story goes, I've actually spent a lot of time being homeless. When I was roughly about 15, I was in juvenile for about 4 months. And then they later placed me in the care of my aunt. And then I went into the care of my dad. And this sort of transitioned into me kind of couch surfing from my friends' places. So I had experience being homeless, but roughly when I was about 18 or 19, I had came to the Kalamazoo Gospel Mission. And I had started sleeping there. That would have been like Christmas of like 2019 or so on and so forth. And it wasn't easy. I had to get used to this idea of living, and it's very different. You got to know how you got to get around, but I got used to this little process, and it sort of changes you. You got to have really thick skin. So most recently, though, there were instances where I got off the streets, but there were plenty of instances where I got evicted from apartments here in Kalamazoo. And that, a lot of crises aside, none of this is super great for me. But what happened for me was I got evicted from a place. And simultaneously, I was taken to the hospital for psych issues. And I was in a very not good place. If this intervention wasn't taken by just a few people who cared as social workers, I wouldn't even be here, and I wouldn't be sitting next to this beautiful person right here. So much later, this ended up leading to me being back at the mission, and this is where I effectively met Ivy. But for me, that meant I was in a position where I'm dealing with, dealing with various mental health issues, and I'm sort of fighting that fight. And I'm fresh out of the hospital. I had to do a lot of grieving and a lot of thinking, among other things. But I'm still in that process. But I'm actively in this situation. I have to be like mentally tough because we're around all this people. And I thought I was gonna be the only trans person. I was scared. Well, I guess I don't know. I guess now I can confidently say I was scared. At the time, I can't be like, oh my God, I'm so scared. I can't be feeling insecure. But I found out I wasn't alone. And there we were, sitting at the mission. We were sitting at our respective mats. Now, like, they placed us on the men's side.
Oof.
Right? But we had our respective mats. We were relatively right next to each other, and we were in like this hallway area between the dormitories and what they called the Good Samaritan room, where there was a bunch of mats on the floor. So here we are in the gospel mission. And one morning, I'm messing with Ivy. I look at Ivy and I go, "Oh yeah, don't." I can barely even say it. We can barely take it seriously. Like, what did I say, Ivy? I said, they don't care about us in this mission. And what happened? Do you remember what happened?
They made us get up and get out.
No, there was the old guy in the wheelchair who walked by, or who he wheeled by, and he says, "Oh yeah, don't nobody care about
Oh
y'all." And then
yeah.
we looked at each other like, "That's crazy right now."
Dang.
He really just straight up told us that nobody cares about us. That's
Told us
crazy.
how we already thought they felt, but hey, let us know how y'all really feel.
That was crazy, bro. So when we told we clapped back and said, "Nah, don't nobody care
Don't nobody
about
care about
you."
y'all.
He was grumpy, bro. Why'd he catch an attitude with us?
For no reason.
Because we be nice to people. We be generous to people. Straight up. And we promote good things generally.
Yeah.
But so we've had our fair share of laughs. We always God, there was that one time where you made me cry like I was bawling when we walked into the mission. Like one of the staff members was talking about like he says, "Oh yeah, well my main love in my life is Jesus." And then Ivy, she's
about his about Jesus being his father, and I was like, "He ain't my damn daddy."
Ivy says with every inch of her soul, she says with 110% seriousness, "He ain't my damn
He
daddy."
ain't my damn daddy.
I started sobbing. It was so crazy. I started bawling profusely. It was gross. People are like, "What is wrong with you guys?" Like, listen, we're two trans girls who find all of this funny. We can't help it. We're in this situation actively. So laughing about any of it is the best thing. It's the best medicine.
Mm-hmm.
It makes it so much less painful.
We were turning dark humor into light.
Yeah, and that's kind of one thing I was gonna talk about. Like, respectively, the things that I have been through, whether it was when I was in juvenile, whether it was kind of becoming estranged to my parents and later coming into being trans,
Mm-hmm.
we go through things and these things change us. There's always those defining points in our childhood and forward that affect you and they sort of change your perception on life. So as we delve into the mystery that is Miss Ivy Rivera, do you have anything you would like to say? What are some defining moments in your life that you think maybe helped you become the person that you are?
Mm. Let's definitely say family, friends, and honestly relationships. Like the I feel like three core things or three core people in a sense that are in your life. Those had a big influence and impact on me. From family, abuse wise, friends, toxicity wise,
Mm-hmm.
and then relationships, both. Because, in a sense, growing up dealing with family abuse, it was like, in a sense, natural for me.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, the girls that know, and the girls that don't. Some of us like our toxicness and don't know why.
Mm.
It comes from childhood trauma and abuse.
Mm.
Go get help.
Yeah, it does. When I got help, that was when everything changed. I don't know if I necessarily had a choice, but it definitely, I was more or less forced to. But at the same time, I have to reckon with myself, the decisions I've made, the things I've done, and I was already battling a lot of regret and shame, basically just from falling out to my own relationships. But with me having borderline personality disorder, there's such a defining trait about unstable relationships, and for lack of a better word, mood swings, just like being really intense emotions about one thing and eventually like falling away from it. So that certainly can be a defining trait for me. But like you were saying, the things that happen in our childhood, they can stick with us. They can define who we are. We become extra resilient to things, but at the same time become too used to things. We're at this drop-in, right? We're at this place. We're at the ministry with community. Now, first off, let me say thank you to all of the people at the ministry with community. All the security guards, all the front desk workers, the various staff members, custodial people, the people who help fund the place, particularly the project with this overnight shelter where we're currently at. Thank you all a billion times because you helped me, help me put myself in a position to be stable in the time being, figure some things out. But we're in this place and it gets loud. There's a lot of people.
Oh my God.
We're like practically right on top of each other because nobody wants to be out in the cold.
Mm-hmm.
And it's our best available option. Here at the Missouri community, we got showers, we got laundry, we have a place we can keep our stuff, place to get warm. Shoot, we got the little smoking patio.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where we be.
Yeah. We be on the patio. I'm
we
gonna
be
tell you
doing
that.
yeah, we be doing our little thing, no doubt about it. We be kicking it.
It's a vibe.
It is. So there we are having to deal with all the yelling that we see some arguments. We see some stuff that average people do not see.
On a daily basis at all.
No, and
Like,
we
it's
just wake up.
rare.
We just wake up and it happens because they wake us up at 5 a.m. effectively because they're trying to transition from the overnight shelter to their regular day shelter. So at which point the mats we sleep on, right? We gotta wipe them down. We gotta play. There's a pod outside for us to place some of them, and we place some other ones in various rooms. We gotta vacuum all the floors because then they're filthy. There's chips everywhere, crumbs everywhere. People going crazy, and then as soon as we do that, it's like a perfect recipe for disaster because people are on empty stomachs. It's 5 a.m. We're all right next to each other, and it's just like one thing goes wrong between two people. Instantly, they begin arguing. You'll hear it. You'll hear it before you see it.
Before you see it. I promise you that. Speaking from my own personal experience, you're gonna hear it before you see it.
Right. And it's a hassle. Do you ever get this feeling that you're becoming desensitized to all this and you're just like, you either want to pull out your popcorn or you're just like, eh.
I can honestly say now, recently, due to the fact of becoming homeless, last year I was like, kind of like on and off of my hormones, and those who know that you're not supposed to stop taking hormones when you take them because you can have withdrawals. I was going through really bad withdrawals all last year. So, Carlotta, you knowing me and knowing how much I've went off last year and, kind of blew my top a little bit. Yeah, I was kind of going through withdrawals. But now, in a sense of, I've gotten myself together in a sense and getting myself back on track, and I'm back on my hormones consistently. In a sense, me being so emotional and knowing that like 75% of my thoughts are being amplified because of my hormones, and me using the rest of that percentage to keep myself from acting or, engaging with those thoughts. In a sense, I kind of try to incorporate what's going on in my environment with my thoughts. So whenever I'm trying to take all of my thoughts and emotions that I know I shouldn't be thinking on or feeling on and throw them out the window, I kind of ball up everything that's going on around me and throw it out the window as well. So that's why a lot of people just look at me like, what's wrong? Nothing. It's my hormones.
Like nothing. Literally nothing.
Literally nothing. It's my hormones. I've said that 20 plus times today. I swear. I've had so many people look at me, what's wrong? You just look like something's wrong. Nothing. I'm in my head. It's my hormones. And then, you have the people, the heterosexual men, or just anybody that doesn't, have an intellect or didn't pay attention in sex ed when it comes to how the body works, that'll tell you, oh, like, for example, the other day, this dude called, I can put up with the homophobic humor in a sense, depending on who you are and how you put it. So the other day, I had this dude in a wheelchair, and that's the only reason why I let him slide, because he was in a wheelchair. He called me a punk, and I was like, I'm not a punk. And me being funny, I was like, I'm a sissy. Call me a sis, because I'm a sis. I'm a girl. He was like, okay, you emotional, sensitive sis. And I was like, why I gotta be all that just because I said call me a sissy? I'm only emotional and sensitive because I'm on hormones. Hormones do that. And he says, no, they don't. That right there, you're like 50-something years old, my guy. You, of all people, should know how hormones work. You've been in enough cat, so you claim that you should know how it works.
Well, not everybody read those kinds of books.
Hey, we can tell. A lot of people's intelligence proves so.
I mean, as far as HRT is concerned, when it comes to the real intricacies of it, like, we're going through it. There are these side effects. Like, for me, it's generally a little bit of stomach issues sometimes. Like feeling bloated. A lot of tiredness, but that could also be from, like, my psych meds and stuff. Occasional nausea from, like gas fumes or cigarette and gonna give me a headache. There's all the emotional stuff, the way I become more sensitive, almost like sometimes danger around me does kind of make me more elevated, like, quicker. It's basically just fight or flight. Like, I feel like fight or flight wasn't something, or maybe I was a little bit more desensitized to it. Like, I could process it a little easier, but sometime after I had been transitioning for a while, I noticed just fight or flight put me in that elevated space where that was basically freeze, which is the third version of fight or flight. And that's not a space maybe I would stay in too long, but I can feel that feeling. But
Trust me, it's definitely understandable. You know, I don't have the same symptoms or, well, yeah, symptoms that you would say. You know, me, I don't know. Y'all be calling me hormonal. For the ones that don't know me, look, ask Carlotta herself. I be acting like a whole female here. You would think I was born as one. My symptoms, I just be tired. I be hungry. I be aggravated. And I be emotional.
I mean, we have all every right to be. That's a very common combination right now. We don't get fed massive portions. We have to basically, how do I say it? We have to ration food. There are so many people that give that generous people who serve us food, and out of their own generosity, out of their own time and effort, they got the tables, they got the lights, they got hot food, they got the time to stand out there in the cold and give us food. But most often, when they give us the chips, the snacks, we're gonna save those.
A little pack of cookies, you know, a hand warmer, a little emergency blanket, and a bottle of water.
Yeah, we need those, but it's not every day we get those.
Like once out of the week.
Yeah, but we really, when it comes to being hungry, like I said earlier, we wake up on an empty stomach and it sucks.
Especially having to take hormones.
And then I heard our homegirl say this morning, they're like, "What, you about to eat hot Cheetos first thing in the morning?" Girl, I'm hungry.
Yeah, I'm hungry.
Yeah, we are gonna eat hot Cheetos first thing in the morning. We on that. So yeah, when it comes to being aggravated, it's too many things are happening at the same time. The smallest thing can happen. Someone says the tiniest little BS to you, whether it's about being trans or not. It's really a 50-50 situation. I feel like I have mostly agreeable situations with people. I feel pretty fortunate that most people refer to me as she. They call me by my name. They call me Carlotta. There might be a solid chance that Ivy being my friend influenced some of this, because there might have been a chance that too many people looked at me initially and could see based on the way I'm presenting and be like, that's a dude. And despite the fact you could essentially see all my features based on what I'm wearing, because over the summer I was forced to wear essentially the clothing I went to sleep in, because when I was evicted, the police grabbed me out of my bed or out of my house, and I was wearing shorts and a little crop shirt,
little track shorts and a little crop top.
So there was plenty of guys who wanted to holla at me, but there was also a lot of creepy situations, and then there's people who just want to be blatantly rude, take it upon themselves. But there was also people who were rude to me or would just say something transphobic, and then later, now they my people. It's crazy how that happens.
Now they respect you.
Now they respect me. It's crazy. That's crazy.
I think that has to do with past situations and scenarios, because in a sense, speaking on homophobicness and people just saying and doing things towards us while we were down here, more specifically you. We're gonna talk about you for a second. There was a specific situation. I know you probably know which one I'm talking about. With I don't know if we can say names. I'm just gonna say Wade, because that's what we called him, Wayne.
Oh,
Not
we're gonna
his
talk about
government- yeah.
we're gonna talk about Wayne.
Yeah, Mr. Locks.
Oh my God.
Yeah, with a specific scenario just like that. Yeah, people down here that are more, prone to doing drugs, and I'm not judgmental at all. We've all done things. Shoot, I dibble and dabble. You never know. Everyone likes what they like. But in a sense, you have the people down here that, they'll get high, and then just like with spaghetti, when the noodle gets wet, it bends. It's not straight anymore.
You heard it here, folks.
Yes. If you make a noodle wet enough, it will not be straight. And it came from Ivy herself.
So let me just explain for the people so we all understand. So one day, this is a great example.
Yeah, this happened to you,
No, this was in a particular incident. So before the overnight shelter opened, I was kind of displaced, and I was sleeping in a tent behind the drop-in. But obviously, I had a little bit of plan. I was anticipating this thing opening, and I really just needed to get by it. But it was just right before, what was it? It was January 1st, right before January 1st. Because that was when they opened it, right? or was it December 1st? I forgot.
January.
But it was getting cold. It was real. We were real down bad for a second there. Once the snow started to come, oh, it was deep.
Trust me. I was there with you. Look, for the ones that don't know, I was there with her just to let you guys know. I had just recently got put out of the ministry with the community.
Right. So at this time, there was a guy who had seen me, and he came up to me, and essentially he was trying to ask me for like sexual favors. And it hurts when people think that's just because of the way I look or whatever, that's something that I would do. Or two, they think that I would be going, I guess, more like I'm offended, or they just don't want, like, I'm telling them no, I'm not going. And he said like I'm lying, and I'm like, this is crazy. You don't want to take no for an answer. And I feel uncomfortable, but I'm a grown person. I carry nunchucks. I can take care of myself. Like, am I worried about it? Not really. But there he was one day. We're at the picnic tables, and he walks up to us and our people, and he was trying to sell us this toothbrush that was used.
Crazy. Let's start there.
Crazy. That's crazy. And he was trying to sell it to us at first for like $10, and we just kept on telling him to buzz off, right? But he didn't want to take no for an answer. So then I think I just flat out said it. I was like, yeah, that's why you was asking me to do a little something for you the other night. And he goes, and everyone was like, oh, and he got real embarrassed. He said, and he got real embarrassed. He goes, nah, I don't know what this. He started calling all the bad words. He started doing all that. He started talking bad about me. And I was like, no, like, what you gonna do? Like, you mad because I said the truth? And then we all know what happened next.
Then lo and behold, Captain Save a Friend. She didn't need saving because, I just didn't want her to hit him in the head with the nunchucks. Me preferably, I like to use my hands. I'm that friend that, I'm more of a fighter than Carlotta is.
But it needs to be explained, though, that this guy literally wouldn't get out of your face. You told him a million billion times to leave us alone. That's all we wanted in the first place. You wanted to sell us a toothbrush. Like, obviously he was desperate. But if we don't have the money for you,
he was trying to get him a couple more dollars to go get some more Crystal Palace. He was drunk.
Yeah.
Let's keep that in mind. He was drunk when all of this was going on. Out of his mind.
He got smacked up. I mean, I saw something that looked like it came out of a John Wick movie or a cartoon. Like, let's
just say I told him to leave Carlotta alone because he was mad at the fact that she put his business out there. I mean, if you're high enough to do it or ask why you're high, then, be sober enough to take the blame for it. So, in a sense, he was threatening my good girl, Carlotta. And I just told him, hey, leave her alone or I'll smack you.
He was talking crazy. He was getting riled up. And it was like, a part of me wanted to understand the ramifications of my actions, but I also was like, I'm keeping it 110% real. Like, everybody around us knew that I didn't just say some BS. Like, it was news to everyone else, but like,
yeah, people already had in a sense that what you were saying was true because for the people that aren't from Kalamazoo and be around the ministry with community, they don't know what Tent City is. You know what Tent City is.
I mean, Tent City, as far as I'm concerned, during the periods between 2020 and 2025, I was homeless for about 8 months between 2019 and 2020. So in between that, like roughly about 5 years, my understanding was people were all camping out in a spot super close to the river, which is super unsafe because when too much rain comes, it risks all of their shit getting washed in the river, or like the river flow can get too high and they're very close to where the water level is. So I think consumers or someone, because they had owned this particular property that's kind of like, it's next to Riverview Drive, but it's kind of like off by where Marathon is, basically. And this was a really common area for this kind of thing.
And in essence, behind the drop, too.
Yeah, and now it's behind the drop, effectively. And that's definitely a pretty motivating reason for them to do this overnight shelter thing. Because I'd imagined the situation was this. The police could come and evict us all of our tents and eventually charge us with trespassing if we were to continue to do so. That could happen. Or the people from the ministry with community were generous to help us, and we were allowed to temporarily do that until we could make it into this shelter. But it's still on us to make sure we do right by them and not break any of the expectations. There's still plenty of rules. There's still plenty of things that we're not allowed to do. But what we do outside of the building is completely on us. We can do whatever we want. We're not, as long as we're not actively hurting anyone. But let's be real. The better part of our time is being spent. We're drinking. Mm-hmm. We're smoking because we're stoners, and that's what we do.
Definitely stoners.
But like I said, this is what we do with our time. When we're idle. How much of being homeless do you think actually motivates us to do this more than we normally would?
Like motivates us to drink and smoke?
Yeah, just because like we.
Do you I would think say like in a sense of like motivation, like oh yeah, I'm homeless, bump it, I ain't got nothing to do, let me go smoke. I think it's like in that sense, like, but just in other words, like in a sense, okay, I'm homeless, I don't have nothing to do with my spare or free time, and everyone that I'm around in their spare free time when I'm not doing nothing is most likely either drinking or smoking. So, and that goes for people that I'm cool with too. So whenever I want to hang out with people in my spare time or free time, they're either drunk or high. So hey, it's like in a sense, screw it. I ain't got nothing else better to do.
Mm-hmm. I tell myself that all the time lately.
It deals, and being down there, it helps deal with like, cause it's so hectic there. Like,
right. But it's still so easy to find yourself in a situation where you're about to crash out. And too much of my time is spent trying to prevent the crash outs. And until a pressure builds, the pressure can build. Something about being homeless, it wears down on you a little bit, especially the lack of sleep. And it really puts you in those situations sometimes where you want to snap. And we see it happen to other people. It almost makes you feel bad for them. Like if you are capable of looking at the situation and being like that, either that could be me or you resonate with that a little bit, like you could see yourself in this situation, any of that, then you got a great heart, because there are too many people that we know that find themselves in inconvenient situations that I want to help. And they're going to come to me for help because I might have the power to help them. And more do I want to, but oh my gosh, am I getting tired. I love these people.
Because she has that friend, Ivy, that be behind her, speaking over her shoulder, going, Carlotta, it's not worth it. Just mind your business. At this point, it's not worth it anymore.
Oh my Lord.
Because I'm that little devil on the shoulder that's saying that now. Because when I first got down here, it's like, hey, why are you yelling at her like that? Or hey, why are you acting like that? Or hey, stop tweaking or stop doing too much. But I can see, as in a sense of homelessness, wearing down my patience and my tolerance, and my sense of wanting to waste my own energy for other people's situations. I mean, yeah, in a sense, if it's for you, I'm willing to waste my energy because, hey, you're my peoples. Like, we're in this together. But in a sense, if it's someone else, right. I'm going to sit back and eat my popcorn. Or I'm going to sit back and eat my popcorn and say at the same time, y'all look dumb. Y'all are just...
Got to say how it is sometimes. But, like, listen, this whole situation going on between y'all is y'all petty. Y'all acting like it's elementary school. Grow up. Look around you.
Sense, that's how the energy is down there as well. Middle school. Like, I put this in a sense to someone else the other day. I was like, there's three main vibes to me that the drop gives. And the people that are in it as well. And the staff. And just like all the aspects that go into it. And how they treat us in all types. Drop too. Drop and the ministry with community. Like, I want to say it's like childish and like middle school, high school because of the drama. How are we homeless and we have this much drama?
There is a lot of drama. There's
like,
it's mostly
I could see us getting into it over someone stealing or stuff like that because we're homeless. But why are we arguing over a seat?
Oh, it can get, like I said, it can get incited over petty. The littlest things. And you be trying not to make it too big of a deal, but then you got it on your lap.
Then even when it shouldn't even be a little problem or a big problem, let's take, because that was the high school, middle school drama aspect, the drama aspect of the drop. Now, when it comes to the staff, they give, like, I want to say jailhouse, definitely, because 9 out of 10, and I definitely am saying 9 out of 10 because very few staff act one way in front of us and continue to act that same way when we're not around. And then you have the other staff that you go to say the slightest thing and it's, oh, well, I don't care, Loki, what you're telling me, because what I'm saying is still going to go. And if you don't like it, you can go outside in -degree weather and freeze your ass off.
We do be weighing the
And it's like,
consequences heavy.
dang.
Every little thing we do,
Dang,
it
CO.
risks a situation. NTO is crazy, bro.
Yes, and for those who don't know what NTO means, it's no trespass.
I mean, you come on the property, they calling the police, you cook, bro. Trespassing, done for. All right, Ivy. I wanna dig a little bit deeper in the mystery. So, you are not from Kalamazoo.
Mm-mm.
I am, in fact, from Kalamazoo. I've been here too long, since I was 15.
Hey, guys, it's starting to grow on me.
Okay. Well, where were you before you came to Kalamazoo?
I was in Lakeland, Florida.
What's that like?
Well, my life in Florida before I initially became homeless was completely different.
Uh-huh.
And I think, in a sense, that's why I kind of act the way that I act, because I'm such used to the former lifestyle that I was living before I became homeless.
Uh-huh.
And me saying that definitely has to do a lot with, like, me being trans and all of the aspects that fall into that because of the lifestyle that I was living, in a sense. I was really living like a housewife type lifestyle. For the ones that didn't know, all my friends know. Like, I definitely prefer to be at home cooking and cleaning and doing all of that. And I really was. I was living a housewife lifestyle. I was engaged, kind of, it's going to be funny, but, kind of running from a relationship right now. That's why I'm homeless to begin with.
Right, because we're all in situations. We all do things. We engage with people. We all make choices. We all endure circumstances people can't just understand because not everybody is just in our shoes.
And don't understand, like, people think they know what it is to be in a relationship, but in a sense, when you have people like us, I mean, that changes a lot of aspects and how people act and how they proceed with the way they deal with things and their partner, in a sense, too, especially if you're not dealing with someone that is, like, in a sense, not insecure with themselves and, in a sense, comfortable with being with you at the same time, then yeah.
Okay. Well, let me speed run you a few questions. Are you single?
Yes, I am. I am
Hear
single.
that, people?
Ivy Rivera is single.
So, what do you hope for the future? What is your hopes?
Really, I was thinking about this the other day, and honestly, is comfortable and is used to the wife lifestyle that I had before I came to Kalamazoo. And with me saying that, I'm so used to, and I hate saying it like this now because of the way I grew out of it, but in a sense, I'm not looking to cater for a man and, let a man provide for me, in a sense, even though, in my opinion, taking care and catering to a man is providing, or someone in general is providing, in a sense, too. But, like, in a sense, just wanting to do me. Like, it's definitely a difference in being at home 24/7 and now, like, my future I can see for myself. Like, I don't want to be held down and tied to being in a house anymore. Being homeless, in a sense, and really being able to spread your wings and fly, go wherever you want, walk, ride the bus, wherever. I mean, in a sense, that, like, I don't know, made me want to spread my wings.
We are free of responsibility, generally speaking. We don't. That's the beauty of my current lifestyle is I don't feel like when I was struggling with my mental health and I wasn't really able to, like, correctly combat that, like, I maybe didn't have the right medications or the right supports, the added responsibility was definitely a pressure. And since then, I've been able to take the time to try to sort through all these things and try to equip myself with the tools to allow myself to be in a better place, because I'm constantly in a battle with this borderline personality disorder, and I'm constantly having to evaluate and make sure that like I'm good. And I'm understanding the triggers, the warning signs, the situations I could walk into, all of that. I gotta keep it in mind. So as far as I'm concerned, we are just two trans people who are people.
Who are people? Keep that in mind. We still have emotions.
We're beautiful people. We're sensitive. We're filled with powerful, powerful emotions. But I think the important message to our viewers is to stay brave, stay awkward, and stay kind.
Stay weird.
This is Carlotta Electra. Crazy Talks with Carlotta. Everyone, please say goodbye to our first guest, Miss Ivy Rivera.
It was nice meeting you guys. I will be back on your screens with Carlotta.
Oh, yeah, we're going to have her back soon enough. All right, everyone. Peace.